Yes. Well, first of all, I think that the minister has given you a very good description about why the program itself is so urgent and essential to Kosovo at the moment, and I think you're absolutely right. She also referenced what we call country ownership, and that is terminology that refers to how we work. So it is at our core that we work very closely with countries on, at the beginning of the process, what are their priorities? And we have a whole analytical process for actually helping identify what are what we call the key constraints to growth. So at the beginning of the threshold, which then also carried through the Kompakt, we worked very closely with the government to identify that energy was the key issue. Now, if you zoom out for a second, I think it's important to ask the question why. First of all, we are in a global energy crisis. It has been, on the one hand, caused by President Putin's invasion into Ukraine, but we also see that energy globally is at a time of transition when we think about all the impacts of climate change and the impact of CO2 on the atmosphere. So it is a time, first of all, to look at the impact on the region. It's also a time for governments, as your government has done, to begin to transition away from fossil fuel-based energy and introduce new forms of energy. So the Kompakt, particularly the battery storage piece of it, which will be the main feature of the Kompakt, will in fact enable the government to begin to transition to a more diverse energy future. The third reason is about international development. And when a country is able to get more reliable access to energy, cheaper access to energy, cleaner forms of energy, begin to bring in more different people into how a sector works, that's very good for the overall robustness of the economy, the health of the people, and a government's ability to generate growth and income and job opportunities year in, year out. Your final point was whether or not the Kompakt is related to the threshold. They are, in fact, very closely related. So the threshold dealt with really what we call the demand side of the equation, and it helped begin to regulate aspects of demand. The Kompakt is working on the supply side and helping the supply of energy become more reliable and perhaps a bit more efficient. So they will work very closely together. And then the women's opportunity piece also work one to the other.
And Minister,